Yeah. Ain't that right? All the gun laws we got in place didn't prevent it, did it? Neither will any new ones.
It is always refreshing to see one of our sheriffs, one of our law enforcement officers, absolutely demolish and point out the idiocy of liberal media constantly spinning and pushing their narrative agenda of gun control. They don't even let the bodies get cold before they're standing over top of them trying to warm their feet. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. But I want to show you guys two different videos centered around this sheriff because he got a lot of backlash from liberal media, like CNN, for instance. But the whole situation hits home for me because not only is it be in my backyard, but it was bizarre and just sad from a parent standpoint. It was a triple homicide involving all teenagers. The victims were teenagers and the perps were teenagers. And the video I'm going to show you is going to give you just a quick synopsis of what took place. This sheriff not only destroyed the gun control questions that are constantly being pushed in the media, but he also raised the question in the blames when it comes to this particular situation and how these teens obtained the gun, and how it's society's fault, the parents' fault, and the schooling system's fault for not giving them any consequences.
You've never seen anything like this before. A 12-year-old just arrested for murder is marched shirtless and in cuffs to a waiting car. Then a second suspect gets the same treatment, only he has a shirt on. He's 17. Despite the suspects' ages, the two perp walks were videotaped by the sheriff's department and posted on Facebook.
We do not hold our juveniles accountable. We minimize their actions.
The pair were charged with the slaying of 3 teens at Ocala National Forest that spread fear outside Orlando that a serial killer was on the loose. Police are also searching for a third suspect, aged 16. One victim, 16-year-old Layla Silvernail, was found shot on the side of the road. The next day, a 17-year-old boy was also found dead half a mile away. Police have not released his name. Then on April 1st, the third victim, 16-year-old Camille Quarles, was found dead in the trunk of a submerged car in a pond at the national park.
At some point, these 3 individuals turned on our 3 victims and murdered them.
Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods announced the arrest today at a press conference that's causing a lot of controversy.
Each and every one of them, in some shape or form, is associated with a gang.
That was the craziest, most unhelpful press conference.
But Fox News defended him.
And he spoke out, and I think he spoke for America.
What a travesty. And I can only imagine how the parents feel. They have to be heartbroken. All teenagers, the victims and the perps. And this is why it's so important to have strict parenting and knowing who your kids are hanging out with at all time. But we have lost our ways. We have taken on this mindset that I'm going to do better than what my parents do. And in some cases, that may be true. But in a lot of cases, we have eluded a lot of the things that we were even brought up on that kept us in line and somewhat kept us out of trouble or danger. And it's true what this sheriff is saying. We are not giving these kids consequences. This case, when I heard him say that, it reminded me of those 2 girls, the perps, that carjacked the guy out in Washington, D.C., where the guy was still hanging onto his car, where they eventually crashed it down the block, killing the man instantly. And you see on video the girl just walking, literally stepping over the man's body to get her phone. No regard to the man's life and the fact that they just committed a crime and took a man's life. And I looked at the backstory. Those girls are going to get to come home again, which only makes me raise the question about these hoodlums that committed this atrocious act. I think that they may charge them as adults, as they should. But this next slide that I want to go into is the sheriff absolutely destroying liberal media when they asked them and tried to push the gun control narrative.
Sheriff, you mentioned the gun. Do we know how the suspect got a hold of the weapon?
Car burglaries.
Car burglaries. Yeah. Ain't that right? All the gun laws we got in place didn't prevent it, did it? Neither will any new ones. Because here's the fact, the bad guy is going to get a gun no matter what law you have put in place. These juveniles shouldn't even possess a handgun. But they did. And I'll go back to you, add your question. A simple burglary, as some people will say, but I don't consider anything simple when it comes to a burglary. The law allows me, I'll plaster their face up on this page, up on my page, up on media. I will hand it out if the law allows me, because parents have the right to know who their kids are hanging out with and preventing this.
The sheriff is absolutely correct, and it is insane that we have people in this country that literally have a cognitive dissonance where their brain is at war with the fact that you cannot legislate evil. If somebody wants to inflict harm or pain onto someone else or themselves, there is no law that's going to keep them from being able to do that. So this argument, oh, we got to take all the guns and there shouldn't be any weapons of war and mass destruction circulating in our society, take the guns away, we need gun control. That is just asinine. Did you know that it is a crime to commit murder? But yet people constantly are murdering people. Why? Because they're criminals. Hint, hint. Did you know that that is the definition? Someone that commits a crime and breaks the law is a criminal. You cannot make good people helpless and hope that bad people will be harmless. I'm going to say it again just in case you did not hear that in the back. You cannot strip good citizens of their constitutional right to be able to protect themselves where it does not stop at their doorstep. You cannot make good citizens helpless and hope that the bad people will be harmless. Because just like the sheriff said, the bad guy is going to get a gun or a weapon or do whatever is necessary for them to follow through with what they're trying to accomplish. And it's unfortunate we just have mentally ill and cowards within our society. So this is asinine to continue on with this gun control argument. Here's another fun fact. Did you know that it's illegal to have machine guns? But right now, there is more machine guns circulating in our society than when it was legal. Nobody wants to talk about that. And these gun control arguers, they don't want to bring that up because it absolutely destroys the gun control argument. So it's sickening and it drives me insane when they take on these gun control and try to spin these agendas to try to strip us of our rights. Oh, and by the way, this happened in Florida. For those of you that are watching that are in Florida, Florida has become the 26th state of constitutional carry. Yeah, Ron DeSantis signed it into the bill. Now there's a majority of constitutional carry states. So it's up to you if you want to get a CCW or not. It's constitutional carry. So if you're in Florida, fun fact, thank you, Ron DeSantis. I probably still will go and get my concealed carry because I like to travel with my firearm. So, but man, the sheriff was absolutely correct. What a sad and travesty situation. It truly is true when they say that there is no honor amongst thieves. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on this subject, centered around gun control and just this whole case. A triple homicide involving teens. Can you imagine what the parents feel like? Thank you to this base sheriff. Thank you, Billy Woods. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I hope more of our law enforcement stand up and tell the truth and point out the idiocy of these fools with their gun control arguments. With that being said, thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment because I do read them. It's your boy, Craig Long 45. You can't make this shit up. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, oj.